Okay, hey, my name's Chris. I'm gonna be taking a look back on how film was first acquired, then edited into a final cut. Back in the day, acquisition of video footage was a long process. After shooting the subject, the film would need to be processed, and therefore that led to the editing. Working with the film was like really risky. If you scratched it, it was just a mess. But the editing was done on what they call a flatbed. It's literally just a desk with a whole bunch of different movie reels on each side, and the editor would sit down at the desk and would look at the monitors, and he would physically cut the film strip. As compared to the older versions of editing with the flatbed editors and stuff, now we have the digital age, which speeds up the process of the whole acquisition and editing of footage. Now, the cameras now are digital film cameras. Like, unlike the old school style of shooting with a normal 35mm film, uh, digital just makes everything a lot easier. It means less money spent on film stock and more money being put to the project to make it either better or more unique. Some of these digital cameras include Red 1 and SI2K. The Red 1 was used on films such as Knowing, let's see, what else? Knowing, Night at the Museum 2, and Gamer. And the SI2K was used on one of my personal favorite films, Slumdog Millionaire. Some of these cameras are able to shoot in special formats. Some are, like the Red is able to shoot straight up raw files. That's almost like 30, 24, 30 different frame rates, different raw pictures per second. And I guess it just comes out clearer and makes the color grading and stuff like that a lot easier and more controllable. And I just think that's cool. A camera like the Red can record onto its own hard drive, or, for instance, on the movie Knowing, all they used was a special adapter that fits onto the camera, and it recorded onto 8 GB compact flash cards. And instead of always needing to switch out 35mm film canisters, it was just switching in and out the different compact flash cards and dumping them onto a large server. These, like, the new techniques of acquiring footage onto a computer, they come through ports such as USB, FireWire, and FireWire 800. The coolest feature on the newest Apple MacBook Pro, I would say, is the SD card slot. For instance, I shoot with a Canon HFS 10. On the inside of the camera, it has a memory card slot, so I can record high-def footage onto the card. When I'm done recording, I can just pop it out and slide it into my MacBook and import like that. Talking about the FireWire, Apple founded that back in 1995, I think it was. And FireWire, whole big fast connection. The transfer rate was 400 megabits a second. Fast compared to USB. Then recently they came out with FireWire 800, which had a transfer rate of 800 megabits a second. Personally, that's my favorite. When you can copy 2-3 gigs onto a hard drive in less than a minute, there's nothing better. You're asking, what is an NLE? An NLE stands for Nonlinear Editing System, or NLES. Some call it nonlinear editing system or nonlinear editing suite, just depending on what kind of person you are. These NLEs give a world of difference to the media world. Now a $1,200 program can do the work of countless men in massive amounts of time, just all compressed into a single click of a button. Maybe if you wanted to throw a filter in, or put a fade in, fade out, or even put music to your final cut. But putting out is always important. Putting out the video, that is. Back in the old process, literally the only thing you could export to was 35mm, which was pretty much your final cut. Was this whole big mess of cut up 35mm film held together with tape. But with the NLEs, for instance, on Final Cut Pro, I use, if I were to be exporting for playback on an HD TV, I would export in a normal QuickTime file, AVI, something along that line, because it's a very large file and it still retains almost all of the quality. But if I wanted to upload to YouTube or Facebook, or just make a smaller video that I can show friends, like on my iPod, I would export in the M4V file. So pretty much looking back at the world of editing, it's come a long way from the barbaric act of splicing innocent film strips on a flatbed to doing the same amount of work, even more, inside of a computer. And the world of computers has just completely revolutionized not only my industry, film, but everybody else's too.